Greetings, Ugandans in the diaspora and friends of Uganda. My name is Daniel Kawuma, the National Unity Platform Team Leader, USA. I wanted to wish you all a happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Today, we celebrate and reflect on the life, legacy, and significance of a civil rights icon, Dr. King. He led a movement to end segregation, to end racial inequality, to end prejudice in the United States through nonviolence. His speeches had a profound effect on the national consciousness, in addition to rallying a resistance in form of protests, in form of civil disobedience to achieve his belief and conviction that regardless of color or creed, all men and women are created equal and therefore should be treated as equal members of society. When you look at the civil rights movement, the message may have been Dr. King's vision of a more equal American society, but it still resonates and speaks to the struggles and aspirations of Africans in the diaspora and even our own country, Uganda, today. We all face similar struggles and challenges with racism, discrimination, unjust laws targeting immigrants. If you look at education, it's still tied to one zip code, and a criminal justice system that is not yet colorblind. These are issues that we have to collectively confront and engage with the African American community, with well-wishers and civil rights activists to fulfill the vision of Dr. King. The civil rights movement, folks, also speaks to the challenges our country, Uganda, faces today. Uganda is a country that has been under dictatorship of Yoweri Kaguta Museveni for the last 37 years. Museveni has decimated the civil rights and liberties of the Ugandan people. MLK once said that in the end, we shall remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends. When Ugandans speak up to demand justice, the Museveni regime clamps down with force and brutality, often shedding the blood of Ugandan civilians while the world is watching, while the world is silent, and while many among us, the media, the justice system, chooses to remain silent. In Uganda, today we continue to witness the abuse of human rights, the torture and cruel treatment of civilians, and even members of the opposition parties. The question is, why does this injustice continue? Because of the silence of our friends. We continue to witness a lack of free speech and press, highlighted by the arrest, the torture, and intimidation of journalists, scholars, and writers in Uganda. Why does this injustice continue? Because of the silence of our friends. We continue to witness the illegal arrest and current imprisonment of members of parliament. Think about it. Members of parliament being put to jail. Muhammad Segirinya, the Kawempe North Member of Parliament, and Alan Sewanyana, the Makindye West Member of Parliament, who have been in jail for over 1 year without trial. Why does this injustice continue to happen in Uganda? Because of the silence of our friends. We continue to witness the assault on democracy by denying Ugandans free and fair elections. And this is reflected by the life presidency of Museveni, who has been in power since 1986. Why does this injustice continue to happen? Because of the silence of our friends. We continue to witness the corruption, the nepotism, and siphoning of taxpayers' money by leadership, leaving millions of Ugandans drowning in poverty, living below the poverty line, and some seeking opportunities outside the country because they don't have a fighting chance. Why does such injustice continue to happen? Because of the silence of our friends. We continue to see the shrinking of civic space. We continue to witness the passage of laws aimed at suppressing dissenting voices, laws such as the Public Order Management Act of 2013, laws such as the NGO Act of 2016, We have seen the Penal Code Act. We have seen the Police Act, the Press and Media Act, and recently the Computer Misuse Act. All of them put in place to suppress dissent. We continue to witness the rising number of enforced disappearances and abduction of civilians in Uganda in broad daylight. We continue to witness a regime that has caused turmoil in the East African region, but surprisingly continues to receive military support and aid from the United States, paid for by taxpayers. Why does this injustice continue to happen? Because of the silence of our friends. We witness a regime that is paying lobbyists in Washington, D.C. millions of dollars, while hospitals in Uganda have no medicine, while schools are in poor condition, while social services are underfunded. Why does this injustice continue to happen? Because of the silence of our friends. Fellow Ugandans that desire equality, that desire freedom, that desire justice and democracy, human rights and individual liberties, we need to stand firm and advocate for change. Let's dedicate our efforts towards community involvement so that when you see something in our country that is not right, when you see something that is not fair, when you see something that is not just, you have to do something about it. We cannot, as Ugandans, be indifferent to injustice and unfairness. We have to listen to the cries of the powerless with the same passion we celebrate the successes of the powerful. Folks, we shall continue the struggle and can never be satisfied until our country is free. We can never be satisfied until our children are free. We can never be satisfied until we get rid of the dictatorship in Uganda. Let's keep the dream alive by fighting for justice. Let's keep the dream alive by fighting intolerance. Let's keep the dream alive by demanding democracy. Let's keep the dream alive by taking a strong stand against human rights violations in Uganda and in the diaspora. This is our duty, fellow Ugandans, an obligation, because injustice anywhere is a threat to justice.